a PowerPoint overview. Yep, so instead of pulling out my PowerPoint, I just printed it out for you in case you wanted to take some notes. So those are some of our programs that we're going to be talking about today in the health, and then we'll talk about it a little more if you're interested specifically in health, what you can do now to prepare yourself for later on. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do an overview of the NTC, kind of give you some information of that, then Emily's going to talk about some specific health program things. I'm going to go through and ask you a couple questions, get some giveaways out, and then Emily's going to go through and do a Kahoot with you guys. How many of you guys are there in here right now?
One.
Jasmine's here.
I don't know. If I knew, I'd tell you. But I'm sure they will tell you.
I'm Ashley. And I'm Emily. So I'm one of the career coaches here. Grace Davidson, she's coming out to East, or West. I was at East this morning, sorry guys. She was coming out to West once a month, doing visits, things like that. I'm going to be coming out in December and January. But I'm the career coach at NTC. And Grace is actually leaving us. She's going back home up to Eagle River. So in the meantime, I'm kind of coming up to us. So if you ever have any questions, you can always come to me. Contact anyone at NTC. We'll get career information, things like that. So basically what I'm going to go over, I'm just going to do an overview of NTC. Quick talk about the technical college system, campus visits, new programs, and programs by career field. How many of you guys have been to NTC before? Yeah, told you. Okay, perfect. So, how many of you know what the difference is between a certificate, technical diploma, and associate degree? Anybody know the difference? How many of you know what a bachelor's degree is? How many years do you go to school for that? 4, perfect. So, we have an associate degree, that's a 2-year degree. Associate degrees that we offer at NTC, we all have transfer agreements for all of those that go out into UWs. Technical diplomas are typically a 1-year degree. They a lot of times ladder fully into our associate degrees. So let's say for instance, you wanted to come to school and you want to only go for, to get partial training. So you go to school, you don't have very many agenda classes that you have to take, but then you want to start working. So if you get your technical diploma, you start working, you can come back and finish and get your associate's degree, get that pay raise and things like that. So there's different options for different people with different situations. Certificates, they're typically very short. They can be 6 credits, all the way up to, I think we take them up to 12. They're typically very short and specified in one area. There's never going to be any gen ed classes in certificates. So we have student life on campus. There's a lot of different things that our student life works with. We have what's called Timberwolf Voices. So we used to have the SGA, Student Government Association at NTC. But we weren't getting a lot of interest in people interested in working with the government, learning about things like that. So we kind of nixed that and came up with Timberwolf Voices. So they're kind of the student voices of the college. They work with different types of advisors. They talk with their program leader, and they kind of influence different things. So we have a overpass that goes between the main campus at NTC and our health building. Students spoke with leaders of the college and they got that built. So you're not walking from one building to the next, getting rained on, getting snowed on, you have a little bit of shelter there. How many of you are in student clubs? Perfect. So NTC has clubs as well. There are automotive clubs, there are nursing, dental and hygiene clubs, radiography club, there's automotive clubs, there's all sorts of different clubs you can be involved in at NTC. If there's not a club that you want to be in, you can make your own club on campus. We also do a lot of different campus events. You can work as a campus ambassador on campus. And you help a lot of times with different campus events. So when we had Mind Trekkers at NTC this fall, campus ambassadors, NTC employees all got to work that event. As campus ambassadors, you can also work with different events. We have the high school career fair tomorrow. Campus ambassadors will be working at giving tours. That is a paid student job. You get paid $10 an hour as a campus ambassador. I was a student at NTC and I was a campus ambassador and we got paid $9 an hour. Now that got bumped up to 10. And then we also have the Wolf Pack. How many of you know or are in the National Honor Society here at school? Good majority of you. We have what's called Phi Theta Kappa within the technical colleges throughout the U.S. That is our honor society. So once you get in that honor society, you are a member of that for life. They have specific scholarships through Phi Theta Kappa. They have different events. You can go to different states for different meetings and things like that. We've gone to Washington, D.C., students have gone to Texas, things like that. We also have intramural sports through NTC. NTC partners with the UW Students Owasso campus, along with the Medical College of Wisconsin, that is located in NTC. So you have the opportunity to do different intramural sports, such as flag football, outdoor volleyball, indoor volleyball, soccer, all those different things. We have a dodgeball team coming up soon. But those are just some different events and activities you can get involved in on campus. So if you're looking at the cost difference, this is looking at per semester. So if you're looking at a private college, you're looking at about $33,875 for one semester at a private school. That's a lot of money. If you're looking at a private for-profit, it's about $26,000 to $27,000 per semester. Looking at a 4-year UW, we're looking at about $8,462 for one semester. 2-year UW, about $4,750. And looking at NTC, you're looking at about $4,026. Now that number can fluctuate based on how many credits you take per semester. That number can be higher or lower. I know when I was at school at NTC, my most expensive semester that I had was about $2,000. So that can definitely fluctuate based on the programs that you're in, how many classes you're taking every semester, things like that.
Do they do it by credits also, like 12 credits, 13? Okay.
Yep. So when you're looking at full-time, part-time, things like that, when you're looking at financial aid, they kind of determine how you're looking at going to school. So if you're taking 6 credits at NTC, you're looking at about part-time. 12 credits is considered full-time. And if you're taking 9 credits, which a lot of students take 9 credits, you're looking at about 3/4 time. So financially kind of looks at how many credits you're taking, things like that, when they're looking at dispersing financial aid. A lot of times for medical programs, you're going to be more than 12 credits, just because they are a little bit heavier of a load for credit requirements. How many of you knew that NTC has housing? Few of you. So our housing is Timberwolf Suites. It is just pretty much right behind school. It's within walking distance to school. We have a sidewalk that's connecting the suites to NTC. There is parking. There are quite a few different room styles. There's 1-person rooms, 2-person rooms and 4-person rooms. You will have in the 1-person room, washer, dryer, full kitchen, fridge, freezer, stove, microwave, all that fun stuff. The 2- and 4-person bedroom, they don't have all of those amenities in the rooms themselves, but they are on every floor. So you'll have your full kitchen. You will, in the 2- and 4-person rooms, you will have a fridge and freezer and a sink, and a microwave. But the stove and the washing machines and dryers, those are all in kind of a generalized area, but they're on every floor.
Cost on stuff like that?
Cost kind of ranges. If you go onto the website, they have specific pricing. I believe 1-person rooms are about $700 roughly, but that includes all utilities, all fees, and everything. Wi-Fi is included. You get Netflix and things like that when you sign a lease. It's a 1-year lease. 4-person, I want to say, is about, can't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say about $425-ish. Now, that is per person. The reason why they do that is, so let's say you get into a 4-person or 2-person room. Your person that you're rooming with graduates before you do. You don't get dumped on another $400 from them. You still stay at that $425, let's say, as your share of that apartment. Yep.
Is that per year or per semester?
Per year.
That's cheap. I thought, can I move in there?
Right? Right. So we do have on-site community assistance. We have community rooms with lounge seating. We do have a 24-hour fitness center. There are private study rooms. Everything is secured, so you do have to have hard access in order to enter the building. And we do have that on-site parking. So what you're looking at in the picture there, that's looking at the front of the building. There is 4 floors. The main floor does have some rooms in it as well. That's where the 1-person bedrooms are. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor, that's where you're getting into 2-person and 4-person rooms.
Are there like RAs in charge of the floors, resident assistants?
Yeah. They just call them community assistants. But yep, just kind of like the same thing. So students that are learning to school on campus, they can sign up, they can work there. Danielle's one of our dental hygiene students, and she's one of the community assistants there on campus. Our security, we'll come out every once in a while and just check in, make sure everything's going. Anything bad happens, on campus we do have 2 armed security officers. And then our criminal justice students do work as security on campus as well. So a lot of times they'll respond to different situations if anything like that happens. There is no fee for parking. Whether you're looking at the suites or on campus itself, there are no parking lots. You pretty much park where you want. There's one parking lot labeled for CBI, Center for Business and Industry, where they have their own specific parking lot, but that's labeled. Otherwise, you can pretty much park wherever. Wisconsin Technical College System. So there are 16 of us in the Wisconsin Technical College System. So we're all state funded. We also have a standardized tuition freeze. Scott Walker implemented that. So that means that our tuition is set. That is set by the state. So when you're looking at coming to NTC, or if you're looking at going to, let's say, Mid-State, Fox Valley, Chippewa Valley Tech, we're all very, very, very similar in tuition rate. A few dollars here or there might be off, but otherwise it pretty much, we have a very similar tuition. So you're looking at taking one credit at NTC, you're looking at approximately $150 to $160, depending if you're taking it in person or online. Looking at a 3-credit class, how many of you are doing dual credit classes?
Does AP count?
If you take the AP test and you score at least a 3, then yes, you can get college credit for that. We will take that. But for dual credit classes specifically, typically you're in, let's say, intro to psych, you're in a math class, you're in, let's say, one of your English classes, that's a dual credit class. Typically that'll come in as a 3-credit class with NTC or at a UW. Through us at NTC, that's saving $450 just for that one single class. That doesn't include books. That's just the one single class. You're looking at UW-Madison, you're looking at about $1,200 for one class. That's a 3-credit class. Huge difference. With the Wisconsin Technical College System, now we're all kind of in the umbrella branch of the WTCS. So transferability between the 16 of us has increased a lot. It's much more fluid to transfer credits from, let's say, us to Nicolay, or us to Gateway, or Madison. It's a lot more flexible, and it's going to make transferring easier for you. We pretty much have very similar names to classes and things like that. Same thing with UWs. It's a lot easier now than it used to be to transfer classes from a technical college to a UW school. Even if you don't plan on going to NTC, we always suggest doing dual credit classes, because even if that class is not a requirement, at the UW, you need electives. A lot of times those classes are transferred as electives. So you can schedule visits at NTC, you can take personal tours. So you can go to all of the, you can schedule tours at all of our campuses. We have campuses in Medford, Phillips, Spencer, Anago, Wittenberg, and our main campus here in Wausau. Just out on County Highway K, we have our Agriculture Center of Excellence, where all of our agriculture programs are. We do have a fully functioning dairy farm out there. Our electrical power distribution is out there as well, along with vet science. We have the Center for Health Sciences, which is right at our Wausau campus location. We have our STEM Center and our Advanced Manufacturing Engineering Labs that you can tour. And we also have the iTech for our Information Technology Entrepreneurial Center. We also have that Public Safety Center of Excellence in Merrill. So as you can see here, we have a picture of the farm. That is a 3D printed octopus and a picture of our health building. You can schedule for personal tours. We take tours on Fridays. Typically very busy. We typically take tours up till 3 o'clock. And a lot of times I know schools, counselors will let students out to take tours at colleges. One of my schools is Edgar, and she just writes a pass for them to go out, take tours at schools and things like that. We do have some new programs this fall. We had our electrical power distribution program and supply chain management. Business analyst is not necessarily new, but we did do a complete renewal of the curriculum. So it used to be IT business analyst, where it was very heavily focused on IT classes. What we did was we went through, cleaned up, took out a lot of those unnecessary IT classes, and added some more of those business focused classes, because it is a business program. So they're not, the IT classes that you're getting, they're gonna be very specific to what you'll be doing as an analyst. Next fall, the fall of 2019, some of the new programs that we're going to be introducing is going to be gas utility service and construction, cosmetology, and civil engineering. And if you go out to the website, what this is gonna do is this is gonna take you with the programs by career field. So if you don't really have a 100% set idea of what you wanna do for a career, you can go on here and look by program field. Agriculture, food, natural resources, architecture and construction, business management, finance, health science. So let's say you wanna look at all the health science programs. So what this is gonna do is this is gonna label all of the programs alphabetically, and it's gonna tell you if it's a technical diploma, certificate, or an associate's degree. So you can kind of see what those different things are. Click on them, so let's say click on dental hygienist. It's gonna tell you how many credits there are, it's gonna give you an overview, the approximate cost. It's gonna give you a breakdown on the approximate tuition and books both. That's gonna be for the full program, not just per semester, per year, that's for the full program. It's also gonna give you the average starting salary for a dental hygienist. It's about $54,893 as an average. And it's gonna tell you if it's financial aid eligible or not. All of our associate's degrees are financial aid eligible. Majority of the technical diplomas are financial aid eligible as well. There will be a few that are not. And then certificates are not financial aid eligible. Have any questions? Ask me, my contact information. I'll be out, like I said again, to West in December and January. Miss Pond, she would have when we're coming out. So if you have any questions, you want to talk to me, I'll be down there as well. Do you guys have any other general questions at all while I'm here, going through this? And I'll give it over to Emily for that.
Thank you, Ashley. Hi, everybody. I'm Emily. I'm the learning coordinator for the School of Health at NTC. My background is healthcare administration, but I know a little bit about all of our health programs to tell you a little more. I think we'll start with the Kahoot. I was going to finish with the Kahoot, but I think we'll start with the Kahoot just to see what kind of you know so far. So if you want to take out your phones or iPads or whatever you have, if you don't have one, if you want to play with a friend, that's fine. And then as you're doing it, just make sure your names are appropriate. For the people that came in when I was presenting, who came in late, I got a couple things to give you. Yeah, well, I got that. I think the questions.
Here you guys go.
I can't see the name.
There's 44 in here right now. Is everyone gonna play?
Is everybody in that wants to play?
Yeah, is everyone in that wants to play?
So that way we know what's yeah. And winter does gonna start, so do well.
You broke it?
Always take it.
Hey, now we've got two.
I have like.
All right, we're good? Yes? Last chance? Yes? All right, we're gonna start. So this is a Kahoot about our NTC health programs, also just some general health questions thrown in there. Some you'll guess that, that's fine. I'll talk more about them after each question. I'll go a little more in depth. But we'll get started. If you just want to join a friend, we're just doing a Kahoot. So this
25 questions.
All right, true or false? Medical assistants can administer injections. I will bring my glasses for sure. And you're like as close as you can get it. Okay, so true. Medical assistant is a one-year technical diploma program. If you have gone to a clinic, that was probably a medical assistant who called you back, took your height and weight, took your vitals. They sometimes ask, what are your symptoms? They get you ready to see that doctor. They might be in there with a doctor and doing some scribing, so writing down what the doctor is reporting. So again, medical assistant is 1 year program, 1 year technical diploma program, and they can administer injections. Okay, follow-up question. What kind of fruit is often used to practice injections?
I know which one.
Bananas, apples, oranges, or pears? So it is oranges. So poking into an orange with a needle is similar to poking through your own skin. Our medical assistant students use oranges to practice. They use, has anybody gotten a TB test before? So you know how they inject that little bit of serum? They use hot dogs to practice those. That skin is similar to your own skin. They also use injection pads. And then our MA students also practice on each other. So that's one thing, if you're going to the MA program, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with needles, you have to be okay with blood. And then they go out to a practicum and practice, but by then they should be experts on real patients. Our nursing students also obviously provide injections. They are practicing on injection pads, and then they go straight to a patient. So actually our MA students get a lot more practice even before they go to practicum. What is the average starting salary for an NTC nursing tech?
36,000, 42,000, 51,000, or 48,000? That is correct. It's 51,000.
Alright, so it is 51,000. I actually just saw a new report that the latest is 53,000. So they're actually going up. And I'm sure a lot of you know that nursing, well actually nursing and MA that we just talked about is in really high demand. They need nurses. Basically all of our health occupations are in real high demand, but especially MA and nursing. So, and CNA. What NTC health program is abbreviated MLT? Medical license technician, medicine laboratory tracker, medical liability translator, or medical laboratory technician. I don't know, did Alright, a majority got it. So it's medical laboratory technician is our 2-year associate degree at NTC. I believe I made some of those up and some are actual real, but ours is medical laboratory technician. Has anybody heard of that career before?
Yes.
Okay, good. So they're behind the scenes in healthcare. So let's say you go to the doctor and they have to draw your blood because something's wrong with you, they can't figure out what, they draw your blood. They would send it to a lab where an MLT, medical laboratory technician, would perform tests on it. I misspoke once and an MLT student corrected me. They don't diagnose patients, but they assist the doctors in diagnosing. So the tests that they run and the results help the doctor figure out what's wrong with you. Because they're so behind the scenes and not a lot of people know about this career, we do have opportunity to come in and observe one of our MLT classes. So if you like science and healthcare and microscopes and chemistry, MLT might be a good career for you. I will leave these. I don't have enough for everybody, but I have about 10 copies. If you're interested in MLT and want to come observe one of our labs, you are welcome to. There's information on this flyer on how to sign up and come in for a tour. Which is not considered a soft skill?
Communicating effectively, time management, vital signs, collaborating with others. I'm gonna assume it's the one
So yeah, one of these is not like the others. I'm not like the others. Most people got it. Alright, so checking vital signs, everybody should be doing it the same way. That's why it's considered a hard technical skill. We can show you exactly how you should be checking vital signs. All the others are considered soft skills. They depend on your personality. How do you communicate? We hear so often from probably all of our employers, but especially our health employers, that soft skills is so important because you're working hands-on with those patients. You're probably seeing them during their worst days. They're in pain. Soft skills employers have told us that soft skills are more important than the hard technical skills because they can teach the skills, but they can't teach you how to be a nice, friendly person, how to communicate effectively. They can try to help you, but just remember soft skills are very important. This NTC graduate cleans teeth and educates patients on how to maintain oral health.
dental assistant. Oh, wait, no. Dentist or orthodontist.
Yes, she does. She said,
So dental hygiene is a 2-year associate degree. They're the ones when you go to a dental clinic, they're actually in your mouth cleaning your teeth. Dental assisting, we also have that, is a 1 semester plus 6 weeks of clinical. They're assisting a dentist, sterilizing equipment afterwards. They might be at the front desk of a dental clinic. Our dental hygiene students, there is a clinic on the first floor of our health science building, and patients actually come to them. So they don't go out to do a clinical like everybody else. Patients come in, they pay $20, and get their teeth cleaned by one of our dental hygiene students. True or false, you do not need good soft skills to be a phlebotomist. Does everybody know what a phlebotomist is?
No,
Does anybody know?
I feel like it has to do with it.
Yes, yep. So phlebotomists take your blood. Draw your blood, I should say. Okay, good. So like I mentioned earlier, basically the answer is yes, you're always going to need good soft skills. But especially, think of a phlebotomist. They're poking people all day long and drawing blood. If you've ever gotten your blood drawn before and they had to poke you multiple